What's up, YouTube? Adam Patterson, of course. And when all else fails, volume will always be king. If you are in sales or if you own a business where you do outbound selling, you will figure out that when all else fails, volume is king when it comes to sales, when it comes to outbound reach. And what do I mean by this? You can make phone calls and you can do 10, 15, 20 a day if you want to, and you will find that connection rates are never high. They never will be ever again. With the more AI, with the more call screening, with the more folks making cold calls, it is harder to get connected to people. So how do you fight that? And the answer isn't usually make more calls or call, and it's not change the time that you're calling. The answer is always, well, what other avenues can we take? And that usually comes down to being, let's email folks or let's go to social media and let's get in their inbox because at least we know that we're truly hitting them. People don't think to leave voicemails. They don't think to make additional phone calls. Excuse me. And that is a fault. And here is the reason why. They don't even think to switch the time. But here is the reason why. If connection rates are low, you need to make more calls, not less. If connection rates are low, everyone is thinking, my goodness, we'll never get them on the phone. We need to get our information in front of them. We need to pitch them. So everybody resorts to the email inbox and the LinkedIn inbox or going to social media. But when all else fails, when your pitches flop, when no one answers emails, volume wins. Volume wins in everything that you do. If you have low margin percentages, volume wins because the only way to make up margin in your business, in your bottom line, if you have small margin percentages, is to have more volume. You need more volume, more business at small percentages to make more money. You need more volume regardless to make more money. But when it comes to sales and cold calls, volume wins at the end of the day because you can have the greatest pitch in the world or you can have the worst pitch in the world. But if you get in front of enough people, someone is going to be interested in what you have to say. There is about 30% of leads. It's realistically about 20%. There's about 20% of leads who will always buy what you have to sell, regardless of if your pitch is crap or if your pitch is fantastic. There is 20% of leads that will never buy what you have to sell. They're not in the market or they'll never switch vendors until they die. So what you're looking at for is the other 60%, and that is where volume will help you. But if your connection rates are low, you won't find those folks. Or if your call volume is low, you won't find those folks. And you won't find the 20% who will always buy. You need volume in your daily diet of being in sales. You need to get your cold calls in. The same way that you need to take your vitamins in the morning, brush your teeth, you need to make your cold calls. And you need to make them in volume. Prospecting is the only way to grow your business. It's not through the current customers that you have. You can grow a little bit, but if you're going to grow and you want to grow substantially and you want to exponentially grow over time, you need new business. And the only way to get new business is to prospect. And the best ways of prospecting are to cold call. And you need volume. You need to be doing it, guys. You need to get your daily dose, your daily medicine of cold calls. Okay? So volume is your friend. It will always be your friend. When all else fails, volume wins. You can have the worst pitch in the world, but if you put your pitch in front of many, many, many more people than the next guy with the best pitch, I guarantee you'll land more business. Or at least keep up with them. But you don't have to be the best salesperson in the world to put up volume and put up shots. Okay? And there's a lot of businesses that have been made and a lot of business that's been won and started and then created this exponential snowball effect, a snowball rolling down a hill or a rock rolling down a hill because they just put up the shots. All you need is the volume, guys. If you have the volume, everything else comes into place. You will begin to develop a better pitch. You'll hear more objections. You'll get better at rebuttaling them. And all of a sudden, you'll start landing business. And once you land business, all of a sudden, you'll have success stories to share on the phone. So now when people hit you with rejection, you can all of a sudden turn it around and say, oh my gosh, we've heard this before, actually. Here's X story of how I helped customer through this scenario. They didn't want to work with us to begin with. They weren't looking for anyone to begin with. And all of a sudden we turned this around for them, all because they gave us a shot and just wanted to hear us out. Or you can say, let's just speak anyways. And then all of a sudden you get pitched problems because you're on a longer phone call with somebody. But that'll never happen if you don't pick up the phone the first time, or the second time, or the third time, or the 20th time. Volume is king. Never forget it.